right. We are live with 92.9 Y93. I have Matthew Wurnig here with me. Can I call you Matt? It just feels less proper.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay, so you have become pretty well known for doing something fun during quarantine. Can you tell us about your project, 50 Dates in 50 States, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just I was sitting on the couch one day and I was on the app Tinder and I was swiping, just going down through the wall, and I saw that since everybody's quarantined, you can go anywhere in the US. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, so I was like placing myself in like Dallas and Arizona and New York and things like that. But then I was like, oh, I mean, if I match with a chick on here, what am I like? What's the point? I'm not gonna virtually talk to her a whole lot and like go see her when this is all done. Like I didn't really know what to come of it. So I was like, oh, maybe.
Wait. You don't believe in long distance relationships?
No, I do, but that's just not my realm of things, you know. That's just not how I roll. And so I was like, oh, but I mean, Zoom chat's kind of a big thing now, and I'm like, that'd be sweet if I could match with a chick in each state and just talk to them about their life, get to know them, things like that. You know, I could save money on hotels when I'm driving around the country, you know. So no, I'm just kidding. But I was like, yeah. So I just kind of started going, and then it evolved into this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your goal with this then? Just to pass the time, or?
Yeah. So a couple little things. I mean, obviously, I want to get 50 dates is the kind of the big thing. But then I think one, I just wanted to put out fun content since it's kind of like a negative time right now. I wanted people to see this stuff and be like, oh my gosh, look what he's wearing, or oh, look what him and this girl were talking about, or oh, I didn't know that about Hawaii, or whatever it is. Fun things that people can like listen to that makes them informed and that's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then also like to kind of just inspire people to get on a Zoom call with anybody, whether it's you know, a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, or just family members, friends you haven't talked to for a while, things like that. Because I mean, some of the girls that I'm talking to, I've like briefly met before, and so, but like it's just kind of like reamping that relationship and things like that. And so I think just kind of inspiring people to get out of the norm and be like, oh yeah, you know what, I could video chat them today, or oh, let's see how they're doing, and just always staying in contact with their friends and people that they might not be as close to.
Right. So to clarify, these aren't real dates. You don't see this going anywhere. Has there been any date that you're like, you know what, maybe it might go somewhere?
No.
You don't have to name anyone. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I've gone on 13 dates so far, and I think that out of all, like, I mean, I don't know, so it's weird because I just go into this having fun. I'm not like, I don't go into it as if I would asking a girl to go have dinner, like in person, things like that. Like, I don't know. I just kind of have fun with it. It's real relaxed. We just kind of hang out. I mean, each date is pretty different. We talk about different things, or we'll play a fun game. We'll have a couple drinks. Done some magic tricks for some of them, stuff like that. So it's just been it's been a lot of fun to make them all different and see the ways of life with them. But I don't know. I don't think. I mean, who knows? I might get on one with date number 42, and I might be like, "Wow, this chick is the one." You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So either way, you're making real connections with all these people, whether it ends up being a romantic interest or not. And I have a question. So you said that did you meet these women on Tinder, or how are you finding all these women to participate?
So most of them are all through Tinder. But now that I put it on social media, it kind of blew up a little bit. And so then a lot of people started DMing me, and people started tagging people and comments and texts and all kinds of stuff. So a lot of people, so I feel like I don't even have to get on Tinder because a lot of people have just like said this and this, but honestly adding Tinder into it makes it kind of fun and things like that. But for the most part, it's been Tinder. There's been like 2 or 3 that I've briefly known, and I reached out to, and I was like, hey, you know, like, you want to do this? And like, it's kind of weird because like I barely knew them, but I like did know them. And so I was like, but they were on board and they thought it was really cool. But now it's a lot easier too, because now since I have kind of some background to it and it's on my social media, when I'm talking to these chicks on Tinder, I'll tell them, oh, hey, if you're skeptical, just check out social media. And then they're like, and then they do, and they're like, oh, this is awesome, I'm in. They're
Oh,
awful.
okay. So they have to figure out that you're legit first.
In the beginning, I had worse luck than I do now, because in the beginning they were probably just like, okay, this weirdo from North Dakota is trying to video chat me, and I'm like, no, like I'm just having fun, you know.
Uh-huh. So now you have all the girls like lining up trying to get in on this.
I don't know if you'd say lining up, but there's definitely more options now than there were in the beginning starting it. Yeah, the ball's rolling. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you said you have how many states have you done? 13?
13, yep.
Okay, so you still have quite a few left. How many dates do you do? Like, do you do it per day, per week? What's the time frame here?
So I do them per day, and I just work with their schedule. So, like for example, for tonight, I have 3 dates. I have Ohio. I have I gotta look at my board. I have Ohio.
Oh my gosh, you have a board.
I do have my board. Yep, I have Ohio, Wisconsin, and Alaska tonight. So I got those 3, and so and 3 in a night's a lot. Like honestly, I'll probably be on a date from 6 o'clock till midnight, like between all 3 of them, because most of these dates are like, I can honestly talk forever. I could probably sit here and talk with you all day. Like it just, I can talk for a while. And so most dates are about 2 hours. My date with California was 6 hours long, which was crazy. I don't know how we talked for that long, but it was a great conversation, super engaging. And like, I mean, I was never just sitting there like, oh my gosh, no, it was awesome. And so had some long conversations with some of these gals, but yeah, like I'll do 3 in a day, sometimes 2. Weekends I'll add a little more, but I gotta try to get as many in as quickly as possible before, like, if the quarantine's lifted and everybody can go back to their normal life, then it'll be like a lot more difficult and things like that.
Right. So what's the most surprising thing that's happened to you on one of these dates?
The most surprising thing?
Yeah.
I'd probably say with my date with Wyoming, me and her whole family, we shotgunned a beer together.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That's cool.
Well, yeah. I met the family first date, and it was a shotgun and a beer. So that wasn't that was pretty eventful, which was cool. Or the Texas date, she was a cheerleader, and I don't know, like acrobatics and stuff like that, like kind of interests me how people can do that stuff. And
I bet it does.
yeah. So I was like, oh, like, can you do a standing backflip right now? So she like snuck to her living room and did a backflip, which was kind of cool. I was like, oh, that's dope, you know. So there's little things that make it unique and fun.
Oh, that's awesome. So has there been anything that you've learned about the different areas or about different people? I mean, you're talking to people from all different states. Have you taken anything from all this?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's weird. Some states are a little more like you're more interested to know about, I guess. Like, I mean, like Hawaii or California, stuff like that. And interesting with Hawaii that I thought was hilarious was she was telling me that you can't drink on the beach because it's like because it's private or something like a private property, something like that with the islands. But you can drink in the water. And so she said that like her and all the college kids and things like that, they would party on the beach. They'd just have a big beach party and whatnot. And when the cops came to bust them, they would literally run into the water and swim away. That's how they got away from the cops. They would swim like down shore, or they would just float in the water because the cops wouldn't want to get in full uniform. I'm like, that is hilarious. I feel like anybody else, if a party's busted, you're running through yards and fields and houses and stuff like that. But they swim away in the ocean. I'm like, that's hilarious.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. So, question. So we were talking about quarantine if it ends early and you don't get to complete this project, but what about if it gets extended? Would you consider maybe branching out and start dating people from different countries? Would you keep this going?
From different countries? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So I thought about that. I was like, I feel like if I got my priority would be the 50 dates. And if I got all 50 in, depending on how all this went with like the projects and content I plan to put out and everything, then like almost like a season 2 type thing would be either like 50 countries or like the 7 continents, or maybe it's this would obviously be pretty wild, but maybe it's me visiting a handful of the ones I've met, stuff like that, whatever it is. just kind of, obviously this is like, I feel like this is phase one, and then it could grow into something a lot bigger, which would be sweet.
Right. And airfare is pretty low right now, so that might be doable.
Honestly, I might just have to stock up on plane tickets right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So one more question, because I feel like I'm really curious. Has any of these dates gone like really bad? Has it all been pretty positive, or has there been any awkward situations?
That's a great question. And that's honestly, out of the 13 I've gone on so far, none have been bad. Some have been better than others, but like, that's what I'm super nervous about, is if I get in the call with one of these girls and they're just, I don't know, they're not very talkative, or we just don't have, I don't know, any chemistry, or it's just awkward. Like, that's what I'm nervous about. But the nice thing is I'm pretty confident going into all of these, because like, they agreed to do this. Like, just them agreeing shows that they're pretty outgoing and out of the norm doing stuff. And so, but out of the ones I've gone on, I mean, there's been a couple that seem a little like awkward at times, or like it seems like a lot of one-sided. Like, I feel like it's more of an interview than a date sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes then they have to just get warmed up and then it gets going. But nothing's been like bad or awkward. Honestly, though, this might sound weird. I am looking forward to one just terrible, awkward, weird one, because that would just be kind of funny.
I hope you record it so we can see it.
100%. I definitely would. And I just sit there and just shake my head, and I'd probably be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, thank you for talking to us. If people want to reach out to you, how should they do that?
They could definitely just reach out to me on my Instagram or Facebook, either or. Those are kind of the platforms I'm using, whether it's DM or comments, anything like that. And I'll be able to see and follow along.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you, Matt, for talking to us. Good luck on the rest of your dates. I hope you have fun.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
Bye.